Okay, so Namaste. I'm just going to continue on with. I don't think I really explained enough in the last video because there was another comment asking about the body aches. What are the body aches? And, saying how horrible body aches are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. The body aches with complex regional pain syndrome are to do with your immune system. It's an autoimmune response. It's the body aches akin to, all I can say, when you're coming down with really severe flu, the kind of flu that makes you feel like you're going to die, when every single part of your body is hurting, every bone, every part of your skin, every single facet, your head is absolutely banging, your throat's really sore and dry and hurting, and you're sneezing and coughing. This is the thing. Your body's ill. Your body's really poorly. It's when your body goes into overdrive, your brain, because of the CRPS, picks up on the autoimmune response, the triggers from the CRPS, and it sends all of the same messages as if you're really, really full of flu. Now, what happens when you're full of influenza is your brain sends chemical messages to debilitate you, to keep you in one place, to keep you in bed until you heal, until your body can fight off, conserve all of its energy to fight this bug. Okay, but in this case, there is no bug. So your body's just fighting itself. Your body's just making you feel really, really, really unwell. And this can last days or weeks. I've had this for years. I've had this for years and years, coming and going, and I'd had no idea what was going on. And the doctors were telling me, there's nothing wrong with you. Your bloods are coming back fine. There's nothing wrong with you, for years and years and years. Now, when you've got doctors and hospitals telling you that for years and years and years, and you know that you're in incredibly high levels of pain, that you're getting this foggy head intermittently every now and then where you just can't think straight, you cannot think properly, you're clumsy, really clumsy, you're dropping things all the time, and you don't know what on earth is going on. You think you're going crazy. You think you're losing the plot. Especially when all the men in white coats, and the experts, the doctors with the clipboards, and the hospitals come back and they say, oh, your bloods are okay. Well, guess what? CRPS cannot be picked up in the blood. You cannot be picked up in blood tests, although it does show inflammatory markers, but it doesn't show why there's inflammatory markers. Okay, so I was getting all these inflammatory markers, bloods coming back, but they didn't know why. So there's nothing wrong with you. Nothing wrong with you. And so the cytokine storms is what they're called, and it just feels like you've got the worst flu that you've ever had in your life. Think of the worst flu that you've ever been struck down with, when you actually thought that you were going to die. It didn't start off like this. It just felt like flu. At first, many years ago, it started to feel like I was coming down with a cold all the time. I kept saying to my mum and my family and my son, I feel ill again. Don't come around. Don't come around, because I don't want you to get this. I feel terrible. I kept saying to my friends, I just don't come around. I'm not coming out. I feel terrible. I'm just staying in for the week. And this kept happening, and it kept happening. And it turns out it's an autoimmune response. It's your immune system that turns on you. So it's not just an autoimmune nerve condition. It's an autoimmune disease in general. It then, in the chronic phase, it triggers Gastroperisis. Gastroperisis is where the nerves in your stomach just shut down. You've just eaten a couple of meals because you're hungry, right? Your brain's telling you that you're hungry. It's meal time. I need something to eat. So you'd stick with your regular daily habits and you eat solid food. That's what I was doing up until a few months ago, when I just couldn't do it anymore. My stomach was swelling to... I posted one video, and I would recommend, if anybody wants to know about Gastroperisis, just check out the playlist, Surviving the Suicide Disease. And I've posted one video. I've got loads of videos. I posted one, and one's probably enough. They're all pretty much the same. It's all the same thing, just repeated. You know, I've had hundreds and hundreds of gastroperisis attacks like that, tummy flares I call them, and I now live off liquid meal replacement. Okay, so Huel, full meal replacement drink. Okay, it's 100% nutritionally complete meal, and it comes in all these different flavors. And I'm also on, don't know if you can see over there, stack loads of Fortisip. Fortisip is an NHS prescribed drink which gives you loads of calories. It's like drinking condensed milk. It's not very nice to drink, but it's full of sugar, which isn't ideal. But I can't afford to keep eating 5 bottles of Huel a day to replace all of these calories and all the food. I've stopped eating solid food entirely, by the way. I cannot stomach this food at all. I even struggle with the Huel some days. I even get the gastroperisis with the Huel. It's nowhere near as bad because with liquid, it tends to drip through your stomach. Even when your stomach locks up, it still drips through. So eventually it goes down. So I'm suffering for hours instead of days. And solid food was days. I wouldn't do that to myself again. That was horrific. That on top of everything else, just unthinkable. So you've got to cut down that you're suffering as much as you possibly can with CRPS. If you can cut down the stomach flares with the gastroperisis by drinking liquid food and just cutting out all solid food entirely, stopping eating solid food entirely for the rest of your life, if that's what it takes, do it. Okay? With gastroperisis, although, do your own research. Don't listen to me. I'm no expert and I'm not a doctor, so don't listen to me. Just do what you feel is best for you. What else can I say? So the stomach flares are one thing. Okay, that's coming and going even now. The cytokine storms, I still get them. I've had 5 in 7 days. Today's one of the first days I've started feeling really good. Yesterday, my God, it knocked me for 6. My sister came to visit me, and I couldn't even lift my head up off this pillow. I could barely even speak to her. She barely even got a word out of me, and I was in a really bad way. She was quite concerned about me. I'm not surprised. I was really knackered. Hadn't slept the night before. I tried making a video on explaining the 12 density consciousness system, and I've made that video. You'll be able to tell. I'll post that video today. You'll be able to tell that I was very, very stressed out, very tired, and I hadn't slept, and I just wasn't concentrating properly. I apologize about that. But I still think I'm going to post a video because there's some really good content in it. How on earth I managed to even make that video, I don't know. But I might as well post it. I'm going to try and do another video today on part 2. Okay, so I'm trying to think. Okay, so another thing that's been happening is optical sensitivity, optical hypersensitivity, and auditory hypersensitivity. This started about 5 months ago. I realised that some days I just couldn't have the TV on, couldn't have headphones on, and even the slightest noise, like the traffic going by, would make me jump. Somebody banging on a door next door would just make me jump out of my skin. The tiniest little noises would make me jump and would frighten me. Because when you're going through a CRPS flare, your body releases, just dumps cortisone into your body. Adrenaline, ephedrine, all the bad stuff, all the stuff that you don't want, the fight or flight response chemicals, right? Now, when you've got all these fight or flight response chemicals locked in your system and you're synapses, they lock them into your system, almost like a reuptake inhibitor. Okay, so usually where people just get the fight or flight response when a car's coming, or when somebody's chasing them, or when they're about to have a fight or something like that, this is different. This is an extended fight or flight that can last many hours or many days. It's lasted many days. The longest it's gone on for about 2 weeks solid, and it is exhausting, utterly depleting. It depletes you in every single way. It leaves you a gibbering wreck and a shaking, crying wreck. It just, you are absolutely depleted. Your head's banging. You feel wired, but you can't sleep. You feel tired. Your body's aching. Every part of you is tense. You're all tensed up. You know, you muscle cramps, muscle spasms all over your body. There's nothing that I found that can help that. Nothing. Diazepam. That's the only thing that I found that helps it. Trying to think, is there anything else? So the Optic, so sometimes I've got to have the curtains closed, the blinds down. Many times people walk in, I'm like this. Okay. Can't have any lights on. This affects you in so many different ways. It's ridiculous. Your joints, it gives you sudden onset osteoarthritis and severe joint pain in all of your joints, and that comes and goes in waves. Although it seems to have stayed in my wrists and my hands, but I think that's just the CRPS. The CRPS spread to my left knee, in what was my good leg, my left ankle, which was my good ankle. That's hit and miss, on and off. It stayed in this knee for a long time. It affects my wrists, my hands. Oh yeah, you bruise really easily. You internally bleed. Can you see that? Okay, I woke up like that this morning. I wake up with bruises all over me, sometimes really bad bruises. You internally bleed, which is the least of your worries when you got CRPS. This affects you in so many different ways. It's ridiculous. It's beyond insane how this affects you. It affects your mood. It can give you, because of the fight or flight response, it can give you paranoia and really terrible anxiety. Sudden bouts of it, it'll come and go. The last few weeks I've had, out of 7 in each 7-day period, in each week I've had roughly 5 to 6 flares, full body flares. Full body flares where it literally, it's what it says, it affects every part of your body. You get the cytokine storm. You get so you're feeling ill, really ill, pounding head. Your eyes are highly sensitive. Your ears are highly sensitive. You're sensitive to light, sound. Your skin's highly sensitive. So even trying to get a shower, the water that's hitting your skin feels like needles are going through your skin. It's called hypersensitivity. You get neuralgia, which is you feel like somebody's doused you in petrol and set you on fire. You're just slowly burning. I haven't found anything that gets rid of that pain when that comes on. One of the worst, apart from the neuralgia, is the crushing pain and the broken bone pain. When I say broken bone pain, it's far, far worse, 5 or 6 times worse than the original broken bone. And I smashed my ankle and dislocated my joint terribly. It was a horrific injury. I didn't think that anything could beat that pain. And then I had appendicitis. My appendix exploded and I had the appendicitis, the appendicectomy. And that's one of the worst pains you can get as well. That's on par with childbirth, if not higher. And I thought nothing could beat that. I was so wrong. The all over body flares with the cytokine storms, the hypersensitivity, the neuralgia, the crushing pain. By the way, the crushing pain can be all over your body. It's not just your legs. Every bone in your body can feel like it's getting crushed. It feels like your whole body's in a hydraulic press or something, or a vice. You just get like one of those torture machines, and you're just getting crushed in every single way. I cannot, and everything that I've said in human words to describe CRPS, type 2 in the chronic stage, does not come anywhere close to what it really does to you. No words can possibly express. But I hope this has at least come close to, in using the very poor, limited human language to describing the ineffable. Hell on earth doesn't come close to describing CRPS. I hope that this has covered all the bases, and I hope that this is enough of a description for any of you who just want to watch these 2 videos back to back and just find out what CRPS is and what it does to you. If you want to know my personal experiences with CRPS, just check out the playlist Surviving the Suicide Disease. Okay, love and light to all of you. Namaste.